Good morning and welcome to Sea Glass and Stitching. I'm Nicole and this is going to be Flosstube episode 3. It is no, it's not October. It is November 12th. I am packing away all my Halloween things though, so we're going to do a quick Halloween finish-ish parade for all my Halloween items. Turns out I have not as many as some, but more than I thought. I got a lot done this year. I wrapped up some of the Primrose stitching box from last year, and that's what we're gonna start with. So the first thing was their Cauldron bouquet that was in the box last year, and I just finished it in the hoop like they had it, but then I put it in, I don't know, this white board. I could have painted it, but I decided to just leave it, and I put some sequins on the corners to give it a little bit of sparkle, and then that sits in a picture display just like that. And most of this was done last year, or this year. That was done last year, and then as a gift for my birthday last year, a friend got me a 101 small cross stitch book patterns. So I had done the 3 ghosts because I have 3 children, so we thought that would be things in 3 I usually end up doing, and then also a little cat with a hat. I don't remember where this fabric came from, but honestly it's probably the Dollar Tree. I think that's where the Chanel trim is, so those sit together too. Then I did the Halloween Quaker last year as well. This is on, I have no idea, fabric I dyed myself, I know that much. And then I have that. This I'm pretty sure was a Dollar Tree fabric. And then same black trim this time. Also probably gotten the Chanel trim at the Dollar Tree. This is nice. Stuffed. I love this. I love the colors of it. This is probably my favorite Halloween piece. Oh, and then also last year I have an easel that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby for like $4, and that sits by my fireplace. And I have a Christmas stitch and the Halloween stitch, and I need to find something to do that will fit it nicely for basically every other season. So I did the Fly By Night. I think this is Silver Creek samplers. I changed up some of the colors to put more purple in. And then I have a purple pom-pom trim that was white. I dyed that with Tim Holtz Distress ink. I don't remember the color. But I had done that, and then that sits in that little easel. And then the fabric is the same matching fabric from the other one. Then this year, I was determined to try and wrap up and complete a lot of the patterns that came out of the box last year. I could move them. I keep a separate little file folder for my completed patterns, and I just wanted to finish up and get things off the to-do list, because I was keeping all of the finishing supplies since they come in the box with the patterns and stuff like that, and I wanted to clear that out. So we did the first small pattern, and then the fabric I used for this one was Primrose had like a grab bag last year, so I don't know the names of them, but it was a cute bat fabric, and then little skeletons. Again, it's just the Dollar Tree Chanel. I got pins or enamel charms off of Amazon this year, and so we did the little 2005, and that one is a ghost on a broom. Boop. There's stitching, and I like that this sits up a little bit taller because I have the Cauldron mug. It's got things in it now, but so it just gives a little bit different height variance. Excuse me. And then my last two, I touched these really weird. So I'm fiddling. I attached this pin kind of weird. So I have two more Primrose stitches. This also came in the box, the No Tricks, Just Treats. This was the finishing kit they provided. I love this fabric. I almost didn't use it. My gut instinct was just to keep it and hoard it and never use it and just, but knowing that I did a Thanksgiving one last year and I used fabric that I was not in love with, I thought this year I'm gonna go ahead and fix that and use the fabrics that I like. And then I get to look at them whenever I take it out. So that's that. I did the same thing. Ghost Charm has a 2025. This is my thing this year to do. Trimmed. I like the trim. I don't like to do the patch on the back. That just feels weird. I didn't know people were doing that when I first tried to make my first couple pillows. So I just leave a gap and twist them and stitch. And I guess you can kind of tell sometimes. It doesn't bother me. Also, this one I filled with, instead of polyfill, I used leftover wool felting stuff. I got clearanced some of it at Hobby Lobby. So I used that on two pillows. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. We'll have to see. I don't know if it's gonna make a lot of pillows. It might be kind of pricey, but we'll see. I like how that turned out. I used rickrack along here, which was a little bit difficult. When I went to do this one, I actually meant to do the whole sewing and leave the part and, you know, cut it and turn it inside out and then use the little felt patch. I forgot to do that because I zoned into just my regular way of leaving the gap and twirling it. But, yep, used all, I don't know if I used the called for or if I switched it to match the other things. And then we have, oops, this was, I believe, a Free Stitch Friday from last year, Booze, Hisses, and Cross Stitches. Nice little pillow. And I just, since I still had it, I used some of that same fabric. And again, I did the little enamel charm and the 2025. And I am very excited. And this was fabric that I dyed myself. It looks like it's Ada. Somebody's walking by outside. I look like a crazy person. So we have that. And then out of this fall's punch needle and primitive stitcher, I'm quite certain, they had just a little boo pattern. So I did that in purple. I think I called it for it to be in black, but I used the same dyed by me fabric, kind of like a gray. This is most likely like a 16 or 18 Ada. Probably whatever you can get at Hobby Lobby. And then I just dyed it myself. So just to tuck wherever I need it to go. And that is all my Halloween stuff. For someone who doesn't really decorate that much for Halloween, I feel like I have quite a bunch. Halloween, this is my frustration with the fall. You have fall stuff, so I like to put fall stuff out in September, and then you have Halloween. Well, I don't want to take away my fall stuff because it's still fall, so now I have to find extra room for Halloween, but then I have to take that away at the end of October, beginning of November, and then for 3 weeks put a turkey thing out, or just go straight to Christmas. I'm unsure. I have my fall things out still, but I feel like I want to decorate a little bit more for Christmas. We usually get a live, well, it's been cut down, but a live tree, and they get kind of expensive, and I don't want to have that tree for just 2 weeks. So I'd like to get, and I like also to take all my Christmas stuff down before the first of the year. I like to start the new year, clean slate and everything. So that is probably, I did get an Autumn Lane stitching the Witch's Hollow because I really liked that. So I will do that one next year, but that will probably be most like calm down on the Halloween stuff just because I don't have a huge area to put it in, and then my fall stuff and whatnot. We'll see. We'll see. Still trying to figure, I can't have a lot of stuff out. We're in North Carolina. I worry about, there's a lot of things, like my room here. Whenever I rearrange this to move, I find spiders all the time. One time I'm pretty sure it was a black widow, just hanging out with me in my craft room. So I kind of, and my goal, I want to paint this room. It's like a dining room that's closed off and I use it as a craft room. I would love to paint this and make it look nice, but I've told myself I cannot do that until I get rid of half my inventory. Once I get rid of that and can see wall space, then I'll go ahead and paint and rearrange and make it look really nice. The only problem is whenever I go through things to get rid of them, I'm like, oh, I remember I got this for this project. I should totally do that. And then I don't want to get rid of it. So the decluttering process is working not well in this room. The rest of my house, I feel like I'm doing well. But then if I'm decluttering and getting rid of things, I don't have anywhere to put little trinkety things. So it's an inner struggle between the inner me that wants to be a hoarder and the inner me that wants to be a minimalist. But those are the decorating for the Halloween. Probably not going to do too many more Halloween stitches, just because I don't really have a good place to decorate or natural feeling of, you know, this is where this would go. It doesn't flow. All right, we took a family vacation recently up to Pennsylvania. That is where, so we're in coastal Carolina, and my husband's family and my family are up in Pennsylvania. So we were up there for a week for my mom's birthday, and I stopped by Unlimited Stitches in Lancaster County, somewhere my husband drove me, so I have no idea where it actually was. And I purchased some things. This is my new thing, is when we go places, instead of getting souvenirs that may or may not get discarded in a few years, I'm like, I will buy Stitchy related things, and that way I'm supporting local Stitchy shops and I get a treat, and then I'll look at that and I'll usually probably remember where I got it and all those good things. So the first thing I got, Stitches Unlimited. It's not Unlimited Stitches, it's Stitches Unlimited, Lancaster, PA. I was actually at the register and I saw this, and I'd seen it on Pinterest quite a bit, and I was super excited. Glare. The trees. I did the hands-on trees, hands-on design trees. I finished them up last year. I haven't fully finished them because I'm waiting to find fabric that I really like for the background of all three of them, but I really like the tree shape. So I saw this and I snatched it up. I think it was like the only one left. It says it's from 1999. So I don't know if they're reprinting them or what. But the cashier was like, oh, I didn't even know we had that. I was like, I love it. So I picked up that pattern. I got this one from, it was a Nashville exclusive from Shakespeare's Peddler. And I thought that is lovely. I will have to stitch that up as well. And then I got animal crackers. I have not jumped on the animal cracker train yet until I saw Henny Penny. We are chicken people. We have chickens. We have a dog, chickens, and children. And there be Henny Penny. What I'm going to do is probably not do an apron. I'll just fudge along there and figure it out. And then I'll probably change her colors to match our chickens a little bit more. We have a golden lace Wyandotte, so it would be black and gold. She's a mean chicken. She's a mean chicken, but she's also my son's favorite chicken. So I might do something more like that for her, or my chicken Sherlock. I named all of my chickens after favorite TV show detectives. So we have a Mrs. Fletcher, a Sherlock, Monk. We almost did a Sean and Gus. And who else? I feel like we have more. Grim. There we go. That was it. We have a Grim chicken too. So I'll probably make it look like one of the more colorful ones. Maybe my son's mean chicken, Granola. She plucks the feathers out of all the other chickens. She plucks their tail feathers out. So that's fun. tell who it was that was doing it because all of a sudden we only had one chicken that had tail feathers anymore. And they're all looking rough right now because they're molting. Oh, little porcupines. And then I also grabbed this one. This reminds me of like Beatrix Potter stories. This and the other, who was it? It's not Clovis, it's Nettle. I don't know, there's another one that just reminds me so much of Beatrix Potter, so I thought I will get this one and give that a try. I probably will not finish it like the little cutout. I might do more of a stand-up if I get to it. Oh, it has a little teapot. I didn't notice that. I just am not, I don't know where I would put it. Then, this must have been hopped up on fudge or something that I was spending money on linen. I got antique lace, 28 count by Seraphim. And I got a fat quarter. This is lovely looking. I'm not really a linen stitcher. I am a Aida and even weave. So I think I'm crazy. Spent this much money on fabric when I don't even know if I like stitching on this yet. But I'm not sure either if I had something in mind or if I just thought and thought, oh, that's really pretty. So this might be good to stitch some animal crackers on. Try that. I don't know. I need a magnifier for this. So this is not a taking with me kind of stitching. And then I got fuzzy stuff. With all the Santa stitching coming up, I thought this might be nice to have as a beard additive or for snowflakes and things. Then I got some floss. We got Classic Colorworks Mermaid Fin and two skeins of that. Then the Gentle Art Presidential Blue, 2 skeins of that as well. And I got this because I'm stitching Owl Forced Embroideries Star Dragon pattern. And we did our own pick out colors. I had my son, took him to the store and he picked out colors. But it's very green and gold and Packery looking football, like Packers football. And my son is not a Packers fan. My husband is and my other son is, but the Dragon Stitch son is not. So I said that we would go out and get some. I got 2 blues for him to pick. I thought these colors would go nice. We haven't floss tossed it with the other ones yet. And he's going to pick one of those and we'll make maybe the dragon's blue to bring some other colors in there. Not just green and gold. And then I got as well Gentle Arts Sable. Got 2 of these. And the Gentle Art Portobello. If you look, they're very similar. And I got those because I had plans to stitch this pattern, which came from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine 2021. So that deer, I can remember the deer's face was brownish. So I went ahead and got random threads. I don't know if these are going to work now because I need a little bit more contrast. So we will see. I'll probably just pull from my DMC and do that. So I like it on the bluish background. I will probably do it on something like 18 count Aida and I'll dye it myself and then get that going. So that is upcoming plans. I also want to do I want to get this done this year as well. And I also have the Autumn Swan. I need to get that kitted up. I did the Winter Christmas Swan, the Christmas Swan last year. I finished it after Christmas, so it just got framed and put away. And I would like to do this. I have a Paisley and Polka Dots snow globe wooden thingy that if I can get this done sometime soon, I feel like I could mount that and it would look really cute. I know it's 2024 snowman, but since I'm going to stitch it this year, I might put 2025. I'm not sure. Dropped those. So those are some stitchy plans. Then I don't know if anybody else does this, but if you get a subscription to Just Cross Stitch, it gives you have access to their digital like backlog. And at first I was like, I'm gonna look through all the magazines and I'll print out the patterns that I like. And I did that sometimes I'm a slow learner. Did that for about 20 patterns, and I thought this is gonna be a lot of printing. We homeschool, so I have like an EcoTank printer, so it's not like I'm buying cartridges all the time. Then I had a small epiphany, and I thought if I just print off that back page, it has all of the patterns. I don't have to worry about remembering or looking through the magazine. And then I just have a binder, and I have it organized by, spring, summer, fall, winter. And I can open that up and look at it, and then it tells you down at the bottom when it is, and then I could go online and find, or on my computer and find my electronic copy of it. Also, taste change. Sometimes I look at things and I'm like, ugh, I don't like any of those patterns. And then a year later, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love so many, I want to stitch them all. So this way I can flip through things quite easily. I need a hole punch and add that one in. And then I also, punch needle and primitive stitcher, they don't have like this page. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with that. That way I don't have to rely on, oh, I'm gonna flip through the digital magazines and then see. So another store we went to, I have a name, the Bird in Hand Fabrics. They have, I feel like, really good prices on fabric. So I got a couple things, but this was one of them. The Winter Friends, right? Oh wait, this way. Most awkward flip ever. So they have that. I thought this will be good for some fabric stars, maybe backing the Liz Matthews stars from last year, like the Merry Christmas, had it, the Jingle Ball ones. Anywho, this is $9. And I had been in a store right before that and it was like 12 something. And I was like, I will take the $3 discount going to Bird in Hand Fabrics. So if you're in Lancaster County, plenty of fabric stores to choose from. There are a couple, I only made it to the one cross stitch store, which my husband probably is happy about for our wallet's sake. But there are a lot of crafty places to go look at. Getting fabric in my coffee. And we went on a bunch of hikes up in Middle Creek area, so that was fun. Where we live, we don't really have, I mean, you can go hiking. It's swamps. We live in the swamp. Coastal Carolina is a giant swamp. So when you go places, it's like, oh, it's so squishy. And then we go to Pennsylvania and it's nice to have the mountains again. I like the beach and the mountains. And where we are like 45 minutes away from the beach, which doesn't sound like it's that far. 45 minutes to an hour, depending on if you're trying to get to like a public parking area so that you can get access to the beach. But it's just enough that it's a pain to go down there. We don't go down all in the summer because that's the Outer Banks and then traffic is crazy, and no. And usually starting in May to September, the goal is not to do anything on the weekends. All errands are done beforehand because the traffic coming north down to the Outer Banks is a pain because our town, you have to drive right through to get down there. And we're not, no. If you need to turn against traffic, you're gonna be sitting there forever. And it's only getting worse. Every year you just see more and more Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and it's starting to creep into Thursday evenings now too. But, and our county goes all the way down to the bridge to get over to the Outer Banks. You might be able to go a different way, but pretty much if you're going to the Outer Banks, coming from north of the Outer Banks, you're going to have to drive down that one highway. Yeah, so we don't go to the beach in the summer unless we're going up to Delaware. I enjoy looking for sea glass and seashells on the beach, and I like hiking up in the mountains. I wish I could get a house that was like beachfront mountain property. That would be ideal. And then, you know, if I could afford that, that would be also ideal. But that's all of our stuff. I went through last night actually when I was organizing up my pattern. When I get patterns in, I put them in this little like inbox thing. And once that starts looking like it's out of control, then I'll file it away. I have like movable file folders. And then I have everything divided by, I usually do broad categories. So I have seasons, spring, fall, winter. And then one of them is just, it's my winter section also has Christmas. I have things divided by, oh, these are patterns to make into ornaments. These are just general Christmas stitchings. And so I went through last night and I pulled all the patterns, excuse me, that I'd like to work on this year. So I have like the Christmas Quakers. I don't remember if I did this one or not. I just recently did the gingerbread one, so I still have all of that left out, so I can do this one. I don't know that I don't think I did. I don't remember doing that, but I don't know. I've done a couple of the Quakers now, and they're starting to blend together. Ah, here it is, Autumn Swan. I'd like to get this one done. I didn't want to do it right after I did my Christmas Swan because I wasn't in the mood to stitch autumn at the time, and also this one's a lot of white stitching, and that's not my favorite. I think I also did it on linen, and that was my first linen thing. I wasn't in love with it. If I'm stitching on linen, I usually need to have a magnifier. My eyeballs are getting too old for that. But I would like to have this one done. I just think these look so elegant. Have that done. I'm not going to stitch the autumn. I already know that. I'm going to just leave that off. And then this I feel like is more square, so I might do a pillow finish on this. We'll see. But this and then the little turkey. What is this from? This is from December 2022, just cross stitch. I think I'll do that. I like this. I need to sneeze so bad. Ugh. I like this little finish, and I have a paddle. I have like a box, a very large box of random stuff I bought to use as finishing items, and I don't tend to pull from them as much as I feel like I should. So I might, this seems like it would be a quick stitch, so I might stitch this up so I have something Thanksgiving-y, and then work on this for another little bit. And then also I need to get to working on, I am going to the Jingle Ball. I went to the Jingle Ball last year, and the general admission, I didn't do any classes, and I didn't do any stitchy tables or anything. So this year I'm gonna go. I signed up for the Liz Matthews class, so we're gonna do snow globes, and we'll see if I can be brave enough to jump into like the speed dating or the stitchy tables or something. I need to clear things up a little bit before I feel confident in doing that. But I had a lot of fun last year. I thought all the entertainment was great, so I would highly recommend, even if you're going to do your $15 ticket, just to watch all the meet and greet with the designers. I really, really enjoy those. I wish that they didn't overlap with some of the classes, because the classes are recorded, so if you don't watch a class live time, you have 30 days to still watch it. I don't know if, I haven't taken a class, so I don't know how interactive they are, if you can ask questions if you're struggling with some of the assembly. So I don't know if it's preferable to be live for the class versus just watching it later. We'll see. But I really liked watching all of the meet and greets with the designers, what gave them the inspiration to start designing, like what's their favorite design, and some of the, I don't know, behind the scenes stuff that you don't normally see without actually sitting down and hearing it straight from them. So I think it was like $10 last year, and now it's $15 because inflation, probably. But I thought $15 is not bad for a full weekend of the entertainment stuff that they put on, and then just the meet and greets. Even if that's all you did, you didn't do any of the stitchy tables or anything. So I'm excited about it. I'm gonna look. I marked it off as soon as Lindy Stitches announced. It was like January when it was going to be. I marked that off in the calendar and was like, this weekend is no, which is fun. I'm glad they don't do a lot of things Friday evening, because Friday evening is when our local 4-H has their Christmas parade, and we are always involved, not in the actual parade, but in the other stuff, the hot chocolate table and things like that. So we don't have to, but we participate in that. And that's usually several hours. I think we skipped it last year because it was going to be so cold. But now my kids are involved in other different clubs. So like the teen council and stuff like that is going to be doing a table for something to pass things out and stuff like that. So we really can't just opt not to go because it's cold. I'm adapting to Southern life. I'm not from here originally. So we've lived in North Carolina for 4 years now. And let me tell you, it didn't take long for me to be like, I'm Southern. It's cold outside. It's 55 degrees and I'm freezing. I was got thin blood. But yeah, we went up to Pennsylvania and I was like, it's so incredibly cold. I'm not used to this. Although this year, the woolly caterpillars, all the ones I was seeing were completely black, and I couldn't remember if that was a good thing or not. And then I had to look it up, the old wives' tale online, and they were like, it's a genetic thing. It has nothing to do with the harshness of the winter. But the old wives' tale says that the bigger the black stripe, the rougher of a winter it's going to be. And I was like, how rough is it going to be if the whole caterpillar is black? Because that's what I'm seeing all over the place. So it feels like it is colder this year, earlier than it has been before. Usually we can make it to December. Plus our weather is all over the place. It'll be cold one week and it'll be like t-shirt weather the next week. I do know there's been Christmases where people have come down to visit and we've been on the beach fishing in t-shirts and shorts. So it's all over the place. But yes, we have adapted to used to the, when I say used to the heat, I don't do well in the heat. But the cold is just, it's rough. But I'm excited. Tonight is the big geomagnetic storm. Not excited for that, but the possibility of seeing the northern lights this far south is exciting. I know last year you did that where you went outside and couldn't see anything. You had to take a picture on your phone and then you could see it. We also lived in Alaska before. You think I'd be used to the cold. Lived in Alaska before, and so when I would wake up at night to take care of my oldest, who was a baby, we would, well, he wouldn't, but I would watch the northern lights at night while taking care of him. So that was always a fun memory. So I've seen them before, but it'll be fun to, if it does happen, to see all that. Haven't really been watching much TV. We've been watching football. Lots of football. Everybody got all kinds of Jacksonville fan and Packers and Cowboys. So all three of the teams. And then my father signed up for fantasy football at his work, but he lets my son run it. So my son wants to watch all of the games that his people are on, and then it's very conflicted when it's people that are against his, real life team, the Cowboys. And he's like, oh, I didn't want the Cowboys to, but I also need this person to do good. So that's fun. What else? Just Jingle Ball stuff. Not many shows. I don't think I've watched like any movies. I do. We're excited about Zootopia 2. We'll probably watch that the following week when it comes out. This is one thing. Since we homeschool, I don't like doing things on the weekends. I don't like doing crowds. We wait till during the week when everybody else is in school and at work, and that's usually when we do our field trips. Oh, we went to the Aurora Fossil Museum. So if you're ever in North Carolina, it's like 2 hours away from us. So I don't know how far away it would be if you were coming from the Outer Banks. It's in Aurora, North Carolina, and a local quarry gets like junk that they need to sift out of, I don't know if they're doing sand or what they're doing, but then they donate it to the Fossil Museum, and they just dump everything in a big gravel sand pit, and you get to dig through it for free and get shark teeth, fossilized shark teeth. I don't know, this fits into some ancient hunter-gatherer thing of mine, so I love it. We've been there twice. It is quite a drive. That's one of my bigger ones. But you just dig through. I'm trying to see if I have, I have it's not a complete one. But that's fun. You just get a little sifter. I usually, the 2 times I've been, I bought a sifter at the gift shop because that helps fund the thing, and they let you do it for free, which if you have children, or it looks like there's always a lot of retired people there digging for things. I want to say once or twice, and this is like the history of this place being open, which is decades, somebody has found like a megalodon tooth. Maybe once, maybe twice, I don't know, that's the rumor. So we always go like digging through, like if you come across something big, make sure you're dusting it off really good to make sure it's not a megalodon tooth. So far we have not found one. That second tooth was probably the biggest I found. And then they have, their museum's pretty good as far as having displays on the different things that you could find in its fossil, because some of it you're like, this just looks like a rock, and it's like, oh no, it's actually a whale vertebrae that's been fossilized and stuff. And they had another second building this time, which I don't think they had that the last time we were there. I didn't go in that one at all because I was busy digging through the fossils, but the guy said that was more like mineral gem fossils and not just from the area. The town is a little bit nothing else there. So I would plan a trip if you want to go dig for fossils and then go back to wherever you're coming from. There might be more things to do in the area. It just seemed like a very, very small town. And that was their big, I need to go on and leave a good review for that because I do think that's fun. If it wasn't so far away, it would be fun to go more often. But yes, we're doing, oh, this is why I'm always busy, it feels like. Sports. My son is doing flag football. So there's a lot of practices, and his first game is tonight. So that should be good. Hopefully he wins. And on the way home, we can see if we see the Northern Lights. So we'll see how that goes. Just running around, lots of stuff, team council meetings, flag football practices. We do a lot of 4-H stuff as well, so we're always down at the extension office. Everybody knows us. Those Altmans. But that is everything here. So have a wonderful week and a happy stitching.